on, open. Good evening, all you lovely Oceanic Triathlon Series athletes. Very good evening to all of you. For those that don't know me, I am John Norris, and I work with Christian and Paul, who we have the pleasure each year of putting a numerous amount of events on for all of you to come and show how good you are at swimming, biking, and running. A big welcome to everyone. Firstly, I'd like to just apologize that the race briefing will only be in English this evening. My Arabic is not quite up to standards, so I will just stick with the English. I would also ask if you do have questions, I'm sure there will be some. If I don't cover everything, then please, at the end, after each of the different sections that I'll run through, the swim, the bike, the run, the transition, aid stations, finish. If you have any questions around those, then drop them into the chat here. I'll do my best to answer those depending on how long this runs on for. Failing that, we will have one of the team at the reception at the Oceanic Hotel tomorrow from 4 o'clock, and we will be on site to help and answer any questions then. So please feel free to come and approach one of us at that point. Before we get going, I would like to extend very big thanks to the Sharjah Sports Council, the newly active Triathlon Federation, our hydration partner, Secret Training, of course, our water partner for the event and the season, Monviso Water. So a big thanks to each of those. Another very special thanks to the local Sharjah police and the ambulance services who are going to be present on Friday morning offering their assistance. And without these guys and these entities helping and supporting these events, Race Me and certainly the larger sports council community, as well as the triathlete community, would not be able to have these events in a safe manner that we do. So big thanks to those guys. You will see them out on the roads as you cycle on Friday, but more importantly, we wouldn't be able to put this event on without the help, support, and continued excellence of the Oceanic Hotel. The CEO we have here, Ian Phillips, he will be saying a few words. Those of you that know him as he is. Those that don't, please feel free to take some time at the event to go shake his hand, say hi. He's a lovely guy and a very serious triathlete. So for now, over to Ian.
Thank you, John. Not sure about the serious triathlete. I think 25 years have passed since my last event, but anyway, thanks for that. Just a few words. First of all, thank you for everybody for supporting the Oceanic and continuing to support sport across the region. So that's a big thing for us. Just wanted to mention a few things. Just to go on a little bit more from what John has said, without the help of His Excellency Issa Halal from Sharjah Sports Council, I don't think we'd have had the ability or the support to make this happen. So with all the ladies and gentlemen at the Sports Council and the Tri-Federation and the municipality police, they have really, really encouraged this event to take place. So I don't think also people will actually realise or understand how much effort John and his team have gone to getting this race approved and certified. Just a couple of notes just to say really before we move into it. We have been made very aware that this is the first race of the season. It's also the first race of the year under new COVID regulations, guidelines and support. We are, as a hotel, putting the best part of 60 marshals, 60 marshals out on the track for this. It's never been done before by us. I think collectively what John and myself have put on is probably over 100 marshals to comply with the regulations and the criteria. Please, 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 we are doing this to make sure that the event runs smoothly. And this is the testing race for the rest of the season. We have people from various sports councils and so on and so forth coming down to watch and observe. Please be respectful to all of those guys out on the track who are trying to help you. They're trying to support the social distancing, trying to support the COVID regulations. Please be supportive and respectful to them. Any questions you have, please fire them back towards John and myself and those guys. Okay, so I'm sure everybody will have a good race and they will enjoy themselves. A few housekeeping things. The hotel doesn't have the capacity to have bicycles inside the bedrooms. So we have a limited space within the hotel for maybe 30 bicycles. The rest of the bikes we would like to think will be kept in your cars prior to going to the transition. So please be supportive to that. In the evening, what we will be doing from sort of 4:30, 5 o'clock onwards, we will be playing this brief on a loop in El Dewan, which is a tea room just off of the lobby, the main lobby. So if you've missed it or you know friends and other athletes who are not aware of this, please ask them to spend 20 minutes, 30 minutes just to familiarize themselves with all the key points. Dinner tomorrow evening will be served from 6:30 onwards in Al Dana, which is the main ballroom, which some of you may have visited for the Try Dubai event. It's also where we host the main breakfast for the race the following day. So from 6:30 tomorrow night, there will be a buffet dinner available. The tables are a little bit more spread out than normal, and the seat capacity on each table is a little bit less than it has been in the past. So please bear with us. We'll work with all of the latest COVID guidelines. So we just need to make sure that it works for everybody. But that is available from 6:30 tomorrow evening. Additionally to that, the video of us talking will also be played through that as well on a loop. In the morning, transition, John will go through all of those bits and pieces in a second, but we'll be serving a complimentary light breakfast, pre-race snack breakfast in El Majan, which is the main breakfast room inside the hotel. So that will be served from 5 o'clock in the morning. So cereals, toast, tea, coffee, juice, so on and so forth. So that's complimentary in-house for all in-house guests, all in-house athletes. So that's there, and it'll be available until around 6:30, which by that stage you should have already been racked, sorted, and wherever John needs you to be at that particular point. From that point, we'll go on towards the main race, which will obviously be in the hands of John and the Race Middle East team. After that, I believe we're serving breakfast in the main hall, which will be from around about 9:15. Again, I have to stress that hall normally has a capacity of about 650 people, but because of the COVID restrictions, it's going to be set up for around about 300 to 320. Some seating will be available outside and some of it will be inside. Presentation will also take place inside that main hall. Please be aware of crowding and so on, because there are a lot of people who are there to ensure and inspect that we get this right. Okay, I cannot stress enough, I know firsthand the length that Race Middle East have gone to make this event happen. And we are very aware that the Sports Council and the Tri-Fed and everybody else are wanting this to be a normal fixture across the whole of the sporting calendar for triathlons across the UAE. But it's got to be going very, very well and very successfully. And we need your support to help us to do that. I don't have anything more to say other than thank you, everybody, for taking part. Thank you to Race Middle East for putting this on. And I wish everybody a fantastic race and a very enjoyable experience. And I look forward to seeing you all from tomorrow on Friday morning. John.
Thanks, Ian. Not sure I could have summed it up any better or clearer. And I will reiterate again, just once more from our side, it is a real privilege to be able to host this event this early on in the season, particularly in this unique period. And there is as much onus on us as an event organizer as you as participants to really show all of the responsible bodies that this is something we can continue for the rest of the season. Please bear that in mind when you're on the course, when you're in the grounds, when you are with other people on the beach in the transition. You will be watched, you will be inspected, you will be subjected to future discussions about how well this event went. And there's only so much we, Race Me, can do. The rest is up to you guys as triathletes, as members of Tri Dubai, to ensure that we are able to continue local events within the area for the next 6 months. With that in mind, we have, as Ian said, implemented a lot of new rules. Some may find strange, some may find a little obscure, but they are there for good reason. They have been well thought about, and we ask that you follow them. They are strict. There are zero tolerance attitudes towards these rules, and we ask that you stick with them and make sure that not only are you making it safe for us, but for everyone else in the triathlete community for the next 6 months. First, I would ask that you take the time to read the race info pack. As Ian says, we have around 72 people in this chat. There are 260 registered people for the event, so we are missing 190 people. So it's imperative that every single one of those people sees this race briefing. They've read the race info pack. If you can, please spread the news, tell your friends, tell all of your athletes if you're a trainer to make the effort to come and look at this information. It is very important. Do not expect this to be your normal triathlon. So with that in mind, I have put the link of the new race info pack, which was updated today, into the chat on this particular Zoom meeting. If you, just going to share the screen. If you have seen it or have not seen it yet, I can quickly run through it, but we're going to be going through most of these. This is a very important part. The way to get to Khor Fakkan has changed. Very excited. It's now only an hour and 20 minutes from Dubai. So this now opens up a whole new territory for you as athletes and also guests at the hotel to go and explore. And it's very accessible. So if you do plan on driving up in the morning, take my word, you're going to have lovely views, good road, and you'll get there very, very quickly. I'm going to run through all of these different areas, the courses, the routes, transition, but do take the time, particularly on the medical advice COVID-19 guidelines, to ensure that you are aware of what's going on the day. I said it is zero tolerance. the excuse, I didn't know, is not a valid reason for being stupid or silly at the event, and it will result in a disqualification. If you do not know, then it is up to you as an athlete and a responsible human being to come and ask someone. Use your common sense. If you're not capable of doing that, ask someone. Not doing either is going to result in you being DQ'd from the event. So I'm just going to come back to the stop sharing. All right. So with that in mind, we all have been told it for the last 6 months. We're going to be told it for the next 6 months. 2 meters apart. 2 meters, for those of you that don't know, is the size of a cow. Think of a cow when you're out there. It's a little more than a bike. You need to be 2 meters apart at all times. Now, this does not necessarily mean when you are swimming, biking, or running. However, when you're not doing any of those, 2 meters apart, you must be wearing a face mask at all times. If you are not wearing a face mask whilst you're at this event, you will be disqualified and asked to leave the venue. Your interaction with each other. I know it's been a long summer. Winter is finally here. Jon Snow is happy. Thanks for coming up to the Oceanic, but do not hug your friend that you have not seen in 4 months. Please, do it somewhere else. Do not give them the love and attention that they deserve as triathletes of Dubai. Just hold that back. Give them a thumbs up when you go past them on the bike course. The event area I will talk in a bit more detail. However, for various reasons, we are not allowing spectators into some areas. One of those areas is the beach. We have 260 people in a very refined space on the beach, and we need all the area that we can get. They will be asked to stand well back from the participants, and they can watch from a distance. However, again, please respect the staff on the day that have all been told and informed and trained how to run the event as best dictated to us by the DHA, the Dubai Municipality, the Sharjah Sports Town, the Federation Triathlon, the numerous plans, proposals, and reports we have submitted to make this happen. If you do not listen to us, it's just going to make us very, very angry at a very early time of the morning. And that is something that none of us want. So please, we ask for your help on this. We want to ensure the safety, yours and primarily, but also the staff. So please respect them, keep your distance from them. 2 meters or more, that's not a problem. We again ask you to, or we try to give you as much information as we can. The key to getting through this period is about communication. Any questions, put it into the chat. Come and see us on Thursday. We're more than happy to answer those at 2 meters apart. Remember, Alison, that's a cow. 2 meters is a cow. Okay, so bike racking is going to be determined by your wave. We've sent out all the information about your bib number, your wave number. We have 5 swim waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Each are a different cap color. We have racking time per wave. Each of these are designed to ensure that you're not in the bike transition area with more people than allows for a 2.5 meter distance. So please stick to those times. If you think, oh, I want to get early, I'm going to do this, I'm going to jump my wave, we will stop you and we will disqualify you. It is a zero tolerance. These rules are here for a reason. I'm not trying to be nasty. I just want to have another event after this one. It's that simple, guys. If you don't adhere to them, you could kill the season for everybody. When we do bike racking, we will put the bags like Race Me normally does over the top of the pole. They will hang with your race chip. We will do that on Thursday. This is not an invitation for you to come and collect your race bag. You are not allowed to collect your race bag until transitions opens at the first bike racking at 4:45 in the morning for wave 1. If when we come down at 3 o'clock in the morning and there are any race bags missing, we will disqualify those people. You must not enter the transition unless invited, please. As I said, we've got specific bike racking times. You can see them all from the website. The event list is up and the link was sent to you. It's on the email that was sent out as the athlete participant. If you need it, just send us an email, we'll send you back. If you miss your time because the light breakfast Ian has served was so yummy and you went back for seconds and you missed your bike rack time, then we will not let you in. Please wait till the end at 6:15 and then go and rack your bike. You must be 2 meters apart at all times. You'll also note we have uploaded a season COVID waiver for you to sign. This again enables us to help with Dubai government, Sharjah Sports Council to make as many clear decisions around people as we can. It's imperative you answer that truthfully. It's not there to catch you out. It's just there to protect you. It's to protect us and your fellow athletes. Please download it, fill it out, put your bike number on there as well as the swim cap. Just write it on there. That will help you get into transition a lot quicker. If you don't have the waiver, you don't have a printer, you can't download it, then we will have some in the hotel reception from 1 p.m. when you check in. You can go and collect them. They are in Arabic and in English. Please, when you come with your bike in the morning at your rack time, bring your waiver. If you do not have your waiver and your bike, as well as your helmet and your shoes, you will not be allowed into the bike racking area and you may miss your bike racking time. Please bring your waiver. Now, we've given everybody 10 minutes to rack your bikes. That's a very short time. I appreciate that. We have a very small window to get 260 of you racked. So we ask you to be patient. It's the first time we're doing it in this manner. It's something we're trialing. We believe it's going to work with the staff we have on hand. Fortunately, the Oceanic Hotel have provided over 60 volunteers for this event where we normally only have 20. So we will have a lot of manpower there to ensure that we get you through transition as quickly and as possible. If for whatever reason on the day there is something that holds us up, don't worry. We will not start the race without everybody there. The timings at this stage are a guideline and we will do our best to stick with those. But if we are 5 minutes or 7 minutes late, please, again, just take it with a pinch of salt, accept that this is unique times and we're trying to do the safest thing we can for all of you. When you get into the transition, there will be 2 sections in this transition. One is for the bike and the other is for the run side of things. So I'm just going to share my screen and explain exactly what I mean. Okay, so here you will see my screen. For those of you that know the area in the car park, Trace Rogers, you will understand exactly what's happening here. The beach is on the far right-hand side, and this first black arrow is where people will be running after they exit the swim. They will be coming into this first timing point, and this is where you will queue up for your bike racking in the morning. We will have a queue. Ideally, we won't have a queue, but we will ask you with your bikes to stand 2 meters apart down this section here. You will then enter. We will have bike racks in this top bit. This is where you will rack your bike. You will then walk round here, and in this area, we will have, I'll show you in a sec when the camera comes back on, we will have areas for you to put your bike shoes, your run shoes to collect, and your run accessories when you move out onto the run course. And you will exit at the bottom here onto the run course. If you're coming in from the bike or out, you will come through this timing point straight into the bike transition area, drop your bike, run round, change out of your bike helmet, bike shoes, unless you leave them clipped on the bike, and then you will collect your run gear and move on down to the run course. We'll cover that in more detail. I would just like to jump back and explain what we're going to do. I have a little box here for everyone. When you check in the morning, we will provide you with one of these, which we would require back. This is a hook for you to put over the bike rack, and then you can put your helmet on there in the morning, or when you come back from the swim, this is for you to hang your goggles and for you to hang your swim hat on. You will then take your bike and leave transition. When you take your bike, we would ask that please do not leave anything on the ground by your bike. We have limited space. The only thing permitted to be by your bike is your bike shoes. If you want a towel, if you want anything else, please put the towel over the top of the handlebars. If you want gels or anything like that, please make sure that they are taped to the bike that you can take off and put into your tri-suit if you need. We cannot have anything lying on the ground. When you rack your bike in the morning, in your race bag, you will find a chip, the ankle chips we have, which will be holding the bag. You will find your bib, your breakfast wristband to get you into breakfast after the event. You'll find your swim cap. You'll have some safety pins if you want to pin your bib to your run top. And there will be a secret training gel in the race bag for you as well, courtesy of Secret Training. If any of those items are not there, please go and speak to the transition manager when you rack your bike. As I said, you will be left to rack your bike. We just want your shoes on the floor. Anything else that is not imperative will be removed. When you have racked your bike, you walk around to the run area, and that's where you find your marked box. The box will look like this. There will be a number on the front of the box which represents your bib. You find your number and your box. This is where you put your run shoes and any other paraphernalia you wish to take out on the run course with you. Leave it in there, we will safeguard it, walk and leave the transition area. I'm going to jump back to my screen picture, and when you rack your bike, you'll be coming in here, rack your bike, and then walk out the bottom. It's important for us, we have a clear flow of people, we don't have any cross streams.
And here is where you're,
it also will help you find where you are going when you will be participating in the event. When you come back, you will be coming back in from the road, running round, picking up your run gear, and then running out the bottom here and following the marshals to the run course. If you are in a team, when you come to rack your bike, please come with your run buddy. If you are only one person doing the bike run and one person swimming, we do not need to see that person, but please make sure you bring their waiver with you. If there are two people that is going to be biking and running, then they come in and they can drop their waivers, rack the bike, and we will explain on the morning where the team transition area is, where you will hand over your bib to and your timing chip to your runner. Please note that the swim pen that we are creating for the event is designed to keep you all safe, 2 meters apart, and we will also at this stage need to take your temperature. We have a very complicated system in place to enable us to track you throughout the event. We can gauge within a 20-minute period of all the other athletes that you pass whilst you are out on the course. This we will take note, and we will be able to work closely with various government entities to ensure, God forbid, there is anything we need to go back and look at, we will know exactly where you were and who you raced with at the time. Therefore, when you turn up at the beach, you will have your temperature taken. You must make sure you are under 37.5 degrees. It is a non-wetsuit swim, so you should not have excess temperature from being stuck in the rubber. Please bear that in mind, non-wetsuit for the day. When you come into the beach area, you must have with you your swim cap and a face mask. It must be a disposable face mask. Please bring with you an old disposable face mask that you are happy to throw away. This, you will only be allowed to enter the swim area if you have this in your hand and on your face. Participants only at this stage onto the beach. Spectators will be asked to enter the beach through the hotel around by their wonderful, amazing new swimming pool facilities, which have all been remodeled. And I suspect you will spend a lot of time there this weekend, but you access the beach that way. Only hotel guests enter, people staying at the hotel may enter onto their private beach. If you have a loved one with you at the time, then they are welcome to come, but we ask that they are family members only. If you are not staying in the hotel, you will not be allowed onto the premises at this point unless you are a family member. We'll send everyone off in 5 waves, as I said earlier. Wave 1, 2, 3, and 4 will all be classic. Wave 5 will be the short distance. We're going to send everyone off in 2-second intervals. We have 50 people queued to the start line at a time. We will have these on the ground 2 meters apart. When you enter the swim pen, we will ask you to stand on the first yellow one. You will then move to the second yellow one 2 meters away when that person has vacated it. And you will progress through the swim pen in that manner. If you're on an orange, you stay on the orange. If you're on a yellow, you stay on the yellow. This way, you should not at any point be 2 meters from anyone within this. Remember, 2 meters is a cow. This will stick in your head by the end of this weekend. We anticipate that we're going to send off 100 people in 4 minutes. So we're going to do wave 1 in roughly 2 minutes. That's 50 people in 2 minutes. We will then wait 5 minutes. Wave 2 will then be set off one person every 2 seconds. We should get them out within another 2 to 3 minutes. Wave 3, same again. Wave 4, same again. Then we will wait 15 minutes after wave 4 for all the swimmers to come back onto the beach. The short course, which is wave 5, they will then leave. They will swim the 400 meters in open water and will come back to the beach. I'm going to show you now the swim course that we will be working with the hotel to set over the weekend. This is the beach where we will have access, and this part is where you will enter the beach. As a participant only, you will come through this point. The guests or any spectators will need to come through the hotel and onto the beach this way. We will ask you to follow the course laid out. The blue will be the classic 800 meters. You will swim anti-clockwise. This first buoy, you will turn right. You will come down to the second buoy where you will turn left. The third buoy will be left. And then the fourth buoy will be left, back into the beach, and then into transition. So again, you are going anti-clockwise at this point. First buoy, turn right, and then the next 3 is left, left, left. Right, left, left, left. The short course will be an out and back. It will come out to the furthest buoy, U-turn, back to the beach. We will be running a chip start. So please do not worry that you will be stuck waiting for 5, 7, 8 minutes. Traditionally, we run a gun start, meaning we set everyone off at the same time. You all run into the water together. This time it will be a chip start. So when you cross the start, that is when your time will start. Through the swim area, please Again, stay 2 meters apart from everyone. When you approach the start line, there will be 3 bins. You will be approaching it in 3 queues, 1, 2, 3, all 2 meters apart. There will be a bin 2 meters before the start. This is where you take your mask off and you put it in the bin. You will not see that item again. Please bear that in mind. It must be disposable. It will be disposed of. At all times whilst you're waiting for the start, you must have your masks on. You enter the water, you swim your little fins off. Good luck to you. Your race has started. Now, when you come back out of the water and into transition, again, we've created very clever algorithms which allows for each of you to have the 2 meters available whilst you're in transition. However, with all technology and being clever, it on the day never goes to plan. So again, we ask you to look after each other and yourself. If you enter transition and there is someone that is in the slot next to you that is under 2 meters away from your bike, then we please ask you to vacate, we ask you to let them vacate the area first. Not doing so, you charging in and getting changed next to them will result in a disqualification. We need as much cooperation from you guys, please, as possible on this social distancing. Again, I will reiterate, if we are unable to achieve that with your help, there is a very strong possibility no more events will happen this year for anybody. When you leave transition, if you do not have a bib on your bike with you, you will be disqualified. If you do not have a helmet, you will not be able to leave transition. If you are a team when you enter transition, then the swimmer either goes straight to their bike or they go and hand the chip in the team box to their bike element of the course. Okay, now we come on to the bike course, which is one of the more tricky parts of cycling around Corsican. However, with the help of Ian, the police, and all the input over the years from various other entities, including Trace Rogers, we believe we have a relatively safe course for you that you must be aware of. I'm going to share my screen and we can just talk a little bit about, I'm sharing it already, good. We can talk a little bit about the course. So this is your course for the day. The hotel is here where this little bed is, if you can see my mouse. You come out straight onto roundabout 1, you turn right, we travel up to roundabout 2, then turn there all the way back down to roundabout 4. Now, if you are doing the classic course, you will turn right at roundabout 4. Remember that, right at roundabout 4. That is for the classic long course. You will then continue all the way out around the ring road of the town to roundabout 8, where you will come back all the way to the hotel. Those of you that are doing the short course, you will turn at roundabout 4. It is up to you to make sure you are aware of the turn points and stages for your ride. We will have marshals and signs. The short individuals have a different colored bib to help us point you in the right direction for the bike turn. However, it is on you to know where you are going and to take care of yourself. There are a couple of interesting points on the course which I'm going to draw your attention to at the moment. The first is the design we have made when you come into roundabout 2. Please note, when you leave roundabout 1, we will be pushing you onto the left-hand side of the road. This is an open live bike course. That is to say there are cars and traffic on the roads. The bikes will be instructed to keep left and the cars keep right. From section roundabout 1 to roundabout 2, on the left-hand lane, there are 0 turn points and it is the safest place for a bike to be at all times on that stretch. It's 2 kilometers roughly up to the roundabout. We will then give you a U-turn very tight to avoid any further traffic on the roundabout. And we will bring you back down towards the hotel and the roundabout 1 on the left-hand side again. We will push the bikes to the left and the cars to the right, but please remember, again, it is a live road course. You are responsible for yourself on this course. We then come to roundabout 4, which is what I said, roundabout 4, right turn for classic. This is more for my staff, less for you boys and girls, but you will approach this roundabout on the left. The bikes are the black, the cars are the yellow. If you are going on the classic, which the majority of people leaving at this stage will all be turning right, you will then move from the left-hand lane over to the far right-hand lane. We will again cone this and direct you, but I know some of you like to go very fast in this course. So please bear in mind that we will have stop and goes to hold traffic, but whenever you make a move on this course, always look over your shoulder. That is the best bit of advice I can give you. Do not assume anything. We are in the United Arab Emirates. A lot of people here don't understand triathlon and they don't understand cones. Please bear that in mind. Just because there is a cone in the road does not mean anything. If you are on the short course, you will make a U-turn, circle the roundabout and come back. Again, you will be forced to the left-hand side of the road at this point. Cars on the right, you will be on the left. Trust me when I say this, it is the safest place for you to be. We will also have police and ambulance support at this place. Please bear in mind when you are coming back from the classic course, the fast guys and girls who will be returning will be coming back in conjunction with the short bike course. So we will have 2 bikes over 2 lanes merging into 1 lane round the back of the roundabout. If you are fast on the bike and you are slow on the or slow on the bike, bear in mind there will be a merge point at this roundabout. There's a couple of other areas I want to draw your attention to. I was very surprised, but Ian of the Oceanic Hotel informed me and proved to me that at one point on the course he hit 100, I can't remember, it was either 104 kilometers an hour or 100.4 kilometers an hour. This is a map of the area. The roundabouts where we are slightly concerned, and it is down to you to look after yourselves and be safe. This is the roundabout where you will turn right for the classic, or you will do a U-turn for the short. If you go right, you then come past this roundabout, which is very quiet. However, you will turn right there, keeping on the right-hand lane. You will cycle up and you will come to this roundabout. When you pass this roundabout, you will eventually come to this very big roundabout. This section here is downhill. It is very fast. I will show you for those that have not cycled this road. This is what you will be going down into the roundabout looking at. This is not the section that Ian got 104, let's give him that, 104 kilometers an hour. However, there's a strong possibility that you will reach very fast speeds. When you come down to the bottom of this roundabout, the road kinks and you have to go straight through. It is an open road. We will have police, marshals and cones there, but again, that means nothing in this country. It is up to you to make sure the road is clear. There is no cows, ambulances, cars, other bikers, marshals, chickens, kids in that area, just to mention a few. You will continue straight over this roundabout. You will hit the next roundabout, do a U-turn and come back to this roundabout. When you come into this roundabout from the other side, you will be going fast. We will try and keep this as clear as possible for you to maintain that speed, because you have a lovely big hill to climb up afterwards. Please be aware of that. Now, when you get to the top of this hill again, which is a beautiful climb, a lot of you will enjoy that. But this next section, when you come down the other side, and I will just jump back, we come into this roundabout. I'm now talking about this stretch where you will be coming from roundabout 7 back to roundabout 6 along here. There is a big hill here. When you come back to this, you will be able to put the hammer down and get some good speed. When you come back down this hill, there is a strong possibility you will be doing the fastest speed of your life. You will have entered warp speed. Please be very careful at the bottom of this hill. You enter a very sharp corner and you are faced with this roundabout. This turn is a lot bigger than you expect. There is also, unfortunately, on the road at the moment, some scarring. I think you can see all this here. On this road, if at 100 kilometers an hour, you will come unstuck. If you don't know what you're doing on your tri-bars, this could be a problem for you. And it's no surprise that all of these cars that have come into this roundabout too fast and hit the bottom of their engine on the road have ended up in this area here. I ask you all, please, watch yourself here. It could be interesting for some. We will have marshals there. We will be warning you. We will be showing flags. But again, watch out. It's a live bike course. There is traffic. I don't want to having to come and see you on the side of the road and ask you if you're okay because you got a bruised knee. Just look out for yourself. Look out for anybody. And on that note, I will ask as well, if you do see an incident on the course, it is a 15K course, 30 kilometers total. If you do see an incident and there is no marshal or police around, please inform the marshals at the next roundabout that you have seen an incident and they need to attend. Please take that time to look after the other rider and let someone know. That works in both directions. Okay. When you come back into transition, you'll rack your bike. Now, our wonderful algorithm that we have spent many months looking and working around doesn't take into account that Trad Hughes is on the course and cycles a lot faster than he does swim and overtakes a bunch of people. So with that in mind, what we have decided, one of the reasons we've moved the run boxes into a separate area is to allow us to have more staff and marshals in the bike racking area. When you come in, they may well ask you just to take your bike and you can run. If there is someone next to your bike rack position, please just ask the marshal to take your bike, rack it, and you move on round to the run changing area. Please make sure you are safe at all times. I do not want to hear or see anyone in transition that is more than 2 meters apart. We want you to be fast. We also want you to be safe. If you cannot be safe, I will disqualify you. There is no reason why you need to rack your bike. When you have exited the bike, please go around into the transition, get your shoes and proceed on to the run course. The run course is new this year. Bottom left is the hotel. You'll run out of the hotel, turn onto the promenade, and you will then start your run. The first turn point is roughly 1 kilometer from the finish line. You'll turn there and then head back to the hotel. Those of you that are continuing on the classic, you will be doing a 7K run. 3.25 is the turn point from the finish. You will have made up another 500 meters elsewhere, trust me. I'm going to go back to my share screen so you can see the run course. This is the run course. The hotel is at the bottom left. You will exit the hotel, run all the way along the promenade. This will be the first turn point. Then you will continue to this new wonderful development that they have created for Corfu Khan. Once you get there, life gets good. This is the lovely seaside area. You will be running down the promenade. You will continue running along till you get to the end. You will then be directed around the running track and you will run back along the promenade. When you get to the other end, you will turn here and run back on yourself. This will be the turning point end. At this stage, there will be an aid station, and there will also be a timing point. So this lets us know whether or not you made it to the end of the run course. So you'll run through the timing point, pick up some water at the aid station, turn around on yourself, and return back along the route you came. It's very pretty along there, good running conditions, nice breeze off the sea, fantastic addition for Corfu Khan. I'm very glad they were there. We were up there last week and spent quite a bit of time. There is a coffee shop. You do not have time to stop there and get one. Get back to the hotel. When we get back to the hotel, which on this map is all the way down here, you will be running back and there is a slight turn and then you finish under the arch of the magnificent Aldana Grand Ballroom, which is where we will be having dinner and we will be having breakfast. The finish line will be there. Please note, when you make this turn, you have to make the turn, but the change in ground is from tarmac to marble. So if it's raining or if there has been a spillage from people, it does become slippery. We will have carpet there, but I have seen in times past that a couple of people have made a little slip on the finish line where all the cameras were. So I'm just giving you a heads up now. Come over the finish line and then we'll give you a high five with our hygienic gloves. When you get across the finish line, we would ask you to please take your own chip off your foot. When you take your chip off your foot, we will then give you a medal. We will give you a new mask. You must take a mask from us. We will give you a fresh sealed bottle of water, and we will give you a t-shirt, a finisher t-shirt for the event. You can only collect the t-shirt if you are wearing a mask and you have your bib with you, which is why you must take it when you go on the bikes. So you have it on you for sure. When you finish the race, please use the hand sanitizers that will be at the finish line. We would ask you as well to please leave the finish immediately. No high fives, no selfies, no pictures, no gatherings. That is for breakfast. That is for after the event. Finish the event, smile, leave the finish line, and please go and collect your bike if it is after 8:30 in the morning. Please go and collect your bike immediately after you have finished from 8:30 onwards. If you are a fast triathlete, you'll be there at 8:30. If you're like me, I'll be collecting my bike about 9:45. So remember, it is a strict 2-meter rule that applies. When you go to drop your bike off, when you go to collect your bike, they will not let you in unless you are wearing a mask. Almost there, appreciate you sticking with me. Aid station etiquette. Please do not talk to the staff at the aid station. Please do not ask them to do anything for you. They are just there to put a fresh, sterilized bottle of water on the table to replace the ones that the people before you have taken. We will have 2 tables. One will always be 100% full while someone is taking water from the other table. Please only take water from the table where other people in front of you are taking water from. That gives the staff time and a safe distance to replenish the other water table while you're approaching. Please note that there will only be water at the aid station. If you require additional fluids with you on the run, please make sure you take them with you. You can leave them in your run box with your shoes, pick them up there when you exit transition, take the water bottle with you on the run. There will be no ice handed out, there will be no sponges, there will be no dipping of any of your items in our cooler boxes. There will be, please, no interaction between you or the Race Me staff. They are just there to make sure you turn around and to make sure that the table has water on it. They're not there to offer you any assistance. If you need medical attention at the time, there will be a gentleman in a blue top like mine. You may ask him if you require medical attention, or if you see someone who requires medical attention on the course and have not notified anyone yet. Regarding the staff, please respect my staff. Please respect the hotel staff. They will have been up from 3 o'clock in the morning, making sure everything is right for you guys. They will have been there all of Thursday, setting everything up for you, and no doubt they'll be working late. Please, that's the only thing I ask of you, is to respect them. They will be facing around 300 of you through the morning. Please keep your distance from them. Please stay more than 2 meters away from them. I know that you haven't seen a lot of them in a long time and you're keen to come and have some human contact, and that's fine. I'm all up for that with a mask and gloves and a face shield. But with my staff, I ask you just once, make sure you're smiling under your mask. They have X-ray vision. They can see through the masks. Make sure you're smiling. Say thank you to them. That's a really big one for us. Even if you don't mean it, please thank them. It's really important, and this isn't Race Me, this is the Oceanic staff as well. As Ian said, he has put on over 60 volunteers, most of them on their day off, to come and help out. They are not paid. Yes, they're paid by the hotel for their wages, but this is additional. They're doing it because they want to put the best possible event on for you guys. The staff are not on site to assist you with your race. That is down to you. That is what this meeting is for. That is what the race information pack is for. That is what my staff is on hand in the reception before to answer your questions. They are there solely to ensure your safety is paramount. I'd be grateful as well at the end if you did enjoy your day, that you tell them and praise them as they should rightly be for what they do for you guys. Normally, 99% of you are fantastic, very enthusiastic and thankful for the staff, and that really does mean a lot for us and to them. It goes a long way in this business, and yeah, as I said, if you mean it, even more. Prize giving is going to be done at breakfast, which is down to the hotel. Ian and his team will be managing that. Please make it easy for them. Wear your wristband to get into the breakfast area. Please adhere to the 2-meter rule. That's very important as well. I'm happy to stick around for the next 10-15 minutes and answer some questions in the chat if they're there. As I said, the race information pack on the website is there. I would also just quickly like to pass over to Chris, who would like to share with you the bike profile course of the event. From us at Race Me, as I said, if you want to stick around after this, I'm happy to answer questions, even vocal ones if you want to interact. Otherwise, we'll run through the questions in the chat. I haven't read those yet, but I'll scan through them. Otherwise, one of the team will be in the hotel. I really wish you a fantastic event with Oceanic Hotel up at Corsican. I cannot stress enough, this would not be possible without the support of the Sharjah Sports Council and of course the Triathlon Federation, not to mention the police, local municipality. I hope you guys have a really safe and wonderful race. I hope that we are all on the same page about those rules and ensuring that this event is the first of many to come back into Dubai. I'll hand over now to Chris, who will just quickly share with you and have a couple of wrap-up comments. From us at Race Me, very excited to be able to put this event on, and thank you very much for putting up with me drabbling on for the last 55 minutes.
John, can you please allow me to share my screen?
I can. Let me just figure out how to do that. There you go. All yours.
Let me see. So this is our famous bike course. And there was various questions in terms of, is it very hilly or not? And if you look at the profile, it looks very hilly. But in reality, you see the elevation difference between 20 and 75 meters. It's a short, steep climb. Then you come down, and then it's the same in return. So overall, the course along here, what we have along the corniche or the promenade is fairly flat. You come around here, these two roundabouts, and this is the section where you have the climb and where you come down. And again, I think as John rightly said, don't underestimate the speed you might reach on the way down. You're always entering into a roundabout, so it is a turn. Please be aware that there might be some challenge for you. Okay. So I think that's in terms of the course. I have shared this screenshot in the chat, so you can always look into it. But again, from our end, don't worry too much about the course being too hard. I think it's in many ways a bit technical, but I think if you have done your training, and I'm sure you put it in rightly, you'll be in a very safe space. Thank you very much.
Okay, guys and girls, thank you again. Apologies for the noise at the last 5 minutes. Oh, I apologize. I don't even have my video back on. Thanks again. I'm just looking at the chat now for questions. So if you want to make it quick, chuck one in now and I'll answer them from now on. So apart from that, enjoy your Wednesday evening, enjoy your last day of the week, and big thanks to Ian and Adele. I think it's Adel. Okay, guys. Qatar for now. Anyone wants to ask me a question, please go ahead. Go on, Trace. I know you've got a couple for me.
Hi, John. This is Christian. I just dropped a question in the chat. I think many of us face an issue with the registration with the Triathlon Federation, and haven't received the numbers. So, what do we do about this? Keep it blank. Right, 1, 2, 3, or?
Yeah. So we are aware that there has been a lot of technical issues from the Fed. I'm in contact with one of their guys. He's aware of it as well. So if you don't have a, how do I mute this guy? Sorry, Chris, can you put back the host to me, please? So yeah, sorry, Christian. Sorry, just one sec. Chris Bergliner, could you make me host again, please? So yeah, basically, Christian, just take it easy. We will make it work on the day for you.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you, John.
Anyone else? Any other questions?
Hi, John. Can you hear me?
Samir?
Yeah, how are you, John? Thanks for all of that. Just a quick one about the morning breakfast pre-race. Is that accessible for people that are not staying at the hotel?
I think I'm just seeing if Ian is still in the chat. I think he's gone. I don't believe so. How many people are we talking?
Just myself.
I'll tell you what, you can have mine because I won't be there. How's that?
Oh, thank you so much. We'll make a little donation to someone along the line somewhere and pay it forward.
All right. Anyone else got anything for me? Challenge me.
Hi, John. Can you hear me?
Gemma Brown, of course.
Oh, hi. Hey. Just quickly, I did put a message in the chat, but I don't think you saw it. I think I've purchased a spectator's breakfast. Will that wristband be in my race pack as well?
No, Gemma, it won't. You need to just, the hotel have a list and there will be someone on the door checking wristbands, and they will also have a list with your name on it and the spare wristband.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Hey, John, it's Sean Finlayson.
Hey, Sean.
Where will the team's transition be?
Honestly, we haven't got that area marked out yet. It will be just inside transition, probably where you enter from the swim. As you make the turn from bike round into run, it'll be somewhere convenient. But when we get up there tomorrow and set everything up, we'll find the perfect space that gives us the 2 meters.
All right, thanks, mate.
Hi, just a quick question from Chris Gunn.
Shoot, Chris.
I'll be arriving by car in the morning.
Yeah.
Is there parking available at the hotel for people arriving who aren't staying at the Oceanic?
There always has been in the past. This is the largest amount of people we've ever had up at the hotel. They have a lot of car parking space and secondary and third car parks. There is ample car parking on the Broadwalk side as well. Honestly, I don't think that's going to be a problem. But yeah, if you are struggling, then just come into the hotel and rack your bike, and then we'll find somewhere to stuff your car.
Cool. Okay. Thanks a lot.
Hi.
Hey, Zoe.
Hi. I just wanted to check for the breakfast. Is it possible to purchase some more breakfasts for like my husband and kids? Can I do that tomorrow when we arrive?
Yeah, absolutely. I think so, but there'll also be someone on the door that you can purchase as well there. So yeah, don't worry. I'm sure they'd love to feed you.
Okay, and the other thing is then for the prize giving, can they come in with me for the prize giving, or is it only competitors?
No, prize giving is part of breakfast. So you will all be sitting in the pool room, and then there's a stage where we do the prize giving. Just on the prize giving as well, what we will do is we will lay the trophies on the stage, first, second, third, and then we'll call people up to come and collect the trophy one by one.
Okay, I'll not be getting any trophies, but just to know.
Don't you worry, Zoe. I know the timing team.
All right, thanks. Really looking forward to it.
Yeah, us too. Thank you.
John, this is Daniel here. Can you explain again the T1 and the social distancing on T1? You mentioned that we need to wait for people to leave before we enter the transition zone.
Yeah, sure. Let me share my screen back to transition. Okay, so T1 is this blue timing point here, and this area is T1. So you'll be coming out of the water along here. You'll run through the timing point. That will start your transition time. And then you will run in to get your bike. Now, without going into too much technicality, we have designed the transition area as well as your time based on these swim waves. Now, as we're sending everybody off with a gap of 2 seconds, and then there's a 5-minute gap between wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, and wave 4, we've actually been through the spectator list, and we know a lot of people, sorry, the participant list, and we know a lot of people by by face and name. And we know, we've looked back through our swim records from previous events and we know what they're capable of swimming. Obviously Corona is hit and there are a few other considerations to make. I'm 3 kilos heavier. I'm sure a lot of other people are as well, or I hope they are. So they might be swimming slower, but wave 1 are pretty much the elite guys. And if we know that they run very fast bike times as well, then we'll have chucked them in that group. Are you wave 1, I hope?
No, I'm wave 5.
Oh, great. Then you're going to have no problem whatsoever. Wave 5 is a 15-minute gap after wave 1, 2, 3, 4. So wave 5 is for short course only. You'll have a completely clear swim if you're at the front and you're a fast swimmer. By the time you come back into transition, everyone should have gone and you will be 2.5 meters apart from everybody else. Now, when you come back from the bike, that is where things start getting tricky for us, which is why we have extra staff on hand to be able to just take the bike from someone and rack it for them. That way you don't have to risk being that close to somebody.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Sorry, Johnny. Can I just follow up that? So T1, can we leave the shoes, I guess, and the helmet next to the bike, and then the running shoes and everything else in a second area, right? So
yeah. So the only thing I would like to see in the transition area is a bike and a pair of shoes next to it. We have and will issue these little hooks, which you can put next to your bike. You can put your helmet on it. If you have the race belt or you have any other special gel belt or anything you want to put around this to hang, you can. We would advise, it depends on the type of triathlete you are when you come back in. If you leave your shoes clipped on your bike, then that's fine. You can run around barefoot. If you take your shoes, unclip them, then we ask you give your bike to someone and then move around. What I'm really trying to avoid is having 20, 30 people in the transition area who are all bending over, undoing their shoes, having some water, a little stretch, high-fiving the guy next to them because they just had a race on the last 2 kilometers back. We need people out of the transition area as quickly as possible. And by diversifying the group into 2 areas, bike drop off and shoe put on, we split that risk.
Hi, this is Abdullah. Thank you very much for the very well explained brief and for kicking off the season. Just a small question. Will there be any cutoff times for each discipline, whether it was a swim, bike, or run?
Abdullah, I've seen your times in previous events, so I know what you're capable of doing, and that question from you is irrelevant. There will be no cutoff times. In all seriousness, as a first race back to the season, we have a lot of cooperation with the local authorities in terms of police, ambulance, civil defense, and they have given us full ability to be on the course as long as possible. The most important thing, and I emphasize this to everyone, is this event is about safety. We will not be pulling people off the course. We will not be putting any cutoff times on this event. This is about us as a community and us as an event organizer and provider to be able to show the rest of the world that the UAE is capable of handling and hosting sensible, smart triathlons. And that is what we are trying to achieve. Thumbs up. Thanks, Abdullah. Anyone else, or has everyone just left their computers on and gone and had some dinner?
I have a question. I heard you say about leaving, when you take your shoes off in transition 1 and you don't leave them on the bike. Is that different?
Yeah, traditionally.
Do you leave them on the bike or not?
So there are 2 types of triathletes. The ones who, well, there's 3. There's the pro, the ones who thinks they're a pro, and then there's people like me. So the two tend to unclip or take their shoes out of the, they take their feet out of the shoes whilst they're coming into the transition. And then at the dismount line, they've already got their leg over the bike and they literally just step on and go. So we're going to try and put a little bit of carpet around the dismount line so anybody that's jumping off their bike on the go isn't landing on tarmac. And those who are normal people who come to the transition line, stop, unclip, and then run through. What we ask is you just hand your bike to someone and then keep running around to where your run shoes are, and that's where you get changed.
Okay, I'm one of those normal people. That sounds great. Thanks.
Me too. Well done. Thanks, Karen. It was
Hey, John, it's Pete. Sorry, yeah, I know it's probably very late notice, but I was wondering if it is possible to swap categories from classic to short distance. Not for me, for my son. He's registered a long time back, and he's just realized he's probably not going to be.
Pete, you're killing me.
I know. Look, if it is a big hassle, then don't worry about it. He's not.
Honestly, we have Rebecca here this season. She was with Race Me last season. She's growing to be a more integral part of the team, and she's been handling all of that for some experience, and also ensuring I don't have to do it, because I hate being a horrible guy. Best thing you can do, Pete, drop her an email, info@raceme.ae, and she'll let you know whether she can do it. But if she does, you owe her.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks, John.
Okay. Anyone else? I'm here all night. Mohammed.
Hi, John. Thank you for your briefing. Just a quick question. I think I misheard, or probably I missed the part where you spoke about the teams. Where is the exact locations where we can handle the chip and the race bib? The race number?
The honest answer to that, Mohammed, is at the moment we haven't finalized. It's going to be somewhere around, if you can see my screen and my mouse, it's going to be somewhere around this area. So as you run around from the bike to the run, it'll be somewhere, it'll either be over here or over here. I need to get into the hotel. I need to set up all the bike racks, look at the logistics, and then we'll make a very sensible place. But it will be inside this area, somewhere in between the bikes and into the runs.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Good luck. Okay, well, numbers are dropping. We were 49, we're now 40. Anyone else?
I've just got a quick question about filling up with water the morning of. Will there be, I suppose, either sterilized bottles of water available to us, or places where we can fill up our own bottles? I'm just wondering what the preference is with that.
Are you staying in the hotel?
Yes, I will be staying in the hotel the night before.
Please bring your own water. Please use their fridge. Please use their water.
Okay, thank you. And one other question. In the bike transition area from swim to bike, if we've got, say, a small towel or something, you'd mentioned hanging it on the handlebars before we run in. But once our bike's gone, is that sort of another thing we try and put on the little hook? Or can we just leave it over the bike rack? Everything on the hook?
Yeah, one or the other. As long as it's hanging on something, it's not on the floor. We ideally need a completely clear floor. There's method to that madness, but whatever you can do to keep it off the floor would be great. Thank you.
What if we're not staying at the hotel? Where do we get water?
Please bring it with you. Please make sure that you put ice in your water bottles before you leave your house, so they stay nice and cold for you. If you need extra ice, the hotel can provide that for you. But it is very much a self-sufficient entity.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, I'm waiting for someone else. Anyone? Mark Hamilton, you've normally got a question or three. Any comments? Who else is left in the chat? Mandy, anything from you? Couple of iPhones. All right, they're dropping like flies. Okay, guys, if no one else and girls has a question, then please let me go and have some food. I will see you tomorrow. Looking forward to it. Abdullah, you got another question, or are you good? I never know what those.
No, I'm good, Mark. I just wanted to hear the state of the end.
Yeah, I know you got your hand up. I never know if you got a question or you want to give me a high five.
No, I need to put it down. Thank you.
Well, Abdullah, you and Mohammed are on my watch list, so I've got a keen eye on you guys. So expect.
Oh my God. Okay, thank you, man.
Question.
Have a nice race, everyone.
All right, go on, Laura.
I'd like to ask, is it roundabout 7 you're talking about where the road is a little bit uneven?
Let me share my screen.
I think it looked like R6 or R7 from your pictures.
So it's this roundabout 6 as you come from 7 into 6.
Right, okay.
So you got this nice big one, very beautiful, fountains, etc. Then you'll be coming back down this road, and then that's where it starts getting. So at this point, you'll be thinking life's great. You've just hit 75 kilometers an hour. How amazing is it going to be on your Strava profile? And you'll be congratulating yourself at this point. And then this roundabout will come up very quickly on you. So you see it's a tight right turn there.
I see, okay. So it's downhill, and so you're picking up speed before you hit it.
Yeah, you will have just come all the way down here. So you'll be accelerating into it. Hopefully there won't be a white Nissan Patrol there, but you'll come around here, and the inclination, what we want to try and happen is to cut through the roundabout, and that's where we'll cone. So you literally try and come through it, but the road surface here is littered with drivers who have been into the area and scraped all the way through here. And normally what happens is we get 1 or 2 cyclists in between these 2 hedges. You can see this one's been planted more recently and there's a bigger gap between them. That's because cyclists normally end up through here.
Okay, thank you.
I have to warn you, it's not very comfortable in there.
Right, I won't be going that fast, but I thought I'd better check. And in terms of the new road, I was just going to follow Google Maps, but if there's a new road that's helpful.
I have Google has told me a couple of different ways to get there. Sometimes it sends me the old way, sometimes it sends me this way. So yeah, Google Maps should put you through there. So I'm down near Arabian Ranches, 1 hour 35 with traffic. I'd allow 1 hour 30. We went in one of the Race Me trucks the other day, which is slow. We were there in 1 hour and 20.
Okay, it looks like the E611 or the E611.
Yeah.
Okay, it's at Barashi. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Hi, I have a question actually. It's my first triathlon. How is the drafting policed in terms of the cycling? So you're obviously not allowed to ride behind people, but you have a certain time frame to be able to overtake them, or how does that work?
Well, Don, that's actually a bit of a professional question, not a first timer. I think a lot of people would answer that very differently. Strictly, it's a no drafting event. We do not want to see drafting. We do not promote it. In this type of a condition, we are slightly more concerned about safety over drafting. If you're drafting downhill at 100 kilometers an hour, the road's going to take care of you on its own. You're not going to care about being disqualified when you're lying in that roundabout. So we ask you to police yourself and be very careful around that. All the marshals and the volunteers and the Race Me staff on all the roundabouts will be watching. They all have, they're all synchronized through on an app we have, which can send data back to us at the timing control. We also have 3 people out on the course driving around. If you get shouted at by one of my staff, then I would ask that you know that you're doing something bad, and 9 times out of 10 when you're drafting, you know when you're drafting. So we would ask you just to take it easy. As I stressed many times, I'll do it one more. This event is about showing everyone, including Dubai, including the world, that we are capable of hosting successful, safe events here in the UAE. And from that, if you feel you have to draft, this is not the event for you. You're not going to get your best time ever. Save that for one of our other events. You want to draft, come to my TriFest. That's a great event to draft on. This one though, please, I don't want to see people running past others or cycling past others where they're cutting it close and they're more than 2 meters apart. It's not fair on us. It's not fair on every other triathlete in Dubai, and it's certainly not fair on the community. So you're a smart guy. You're clearly found your path with this new sport that you have. So I'd ask you just to be responsible and be smart.
Sure. I think my question was more to do with disqualification. So like I heard that on Ironman, for instance, if you are a certain distance behind somebody, I didn't mean that I was actually going to draft. I meant as in, am I going to get disqualified if I'm too close to somebody and I don't overtake them in a certain time frame? That was more the question.
Yeah, it's very speculative, and Dubai is a very short subject, the Dubai Ironman. Listen, Don, I'm going to be there. Come find me. More than happy to have a chat and explain everything to you one-on-one.
Okay.
Hi, John. Can I ask you a quick question? That's just where we access this recording for those that haven't seen it.
I will put it on YouTube, and I will put a link and embed it on the event full list page. You know, the one that was in the email that showed you all your bike racking times?
Right, yeah.
You got that, or do you want me to share the link in the chat now?
If you could share the link, that'd be great.
Okay, I'll do that now, and it's going to be sitting in there. Probably I'll get around to it tonight or something, and then yeah, and then should have everything good to go.
Great, thank you very much.
Pleasure. Chris, you got any questions? I know you've normally got 100. Okay, it's in there now. Who asked me? I think she's gone. But that's
no,
where,
I'm still here.
Oh, there you are. Sorry. Yeah, that's where the Race Me event, Oceanic Triathlon Race 1, that down at the bottom, I'll embed it in there.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Lorenzo Lorenzo, someone, are you racing with us? What are you planning on doing?
I'm just waiting for this meeting to be done and then work on the timing.
Okay, everyone that's left in the chat, meet our head timer, Lorenzo Haleli. He takes what are you up to now? 2,000 dirhams to get 2 seconds off your time?
Somewhat that price, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, the burger will be as well.
Anyone that's left here, if you want to become friends with Lorenzo, take him some food. He does pretty much anything for food. All right, lovely people, I am going to end this chat. It has been a lovely time talking, and I will see everyone tomorrow.